Hello, everybody. It's Rabbi Stephen, Rob Shmuel, and Yehoshua Rashbi. This is an off weekend, so we're not doing a service. We'll be live streaming next week. But I'd like to present this sermon or an essay that was written by one of the deans at Rabbinical Seminary International. That's where I was ordained as a rabbi slash Cantor, Jill Hausman. She wrote this. It's very beautiful, and I'd like to share that with you with her permission. So thank you, Rabbi Jill. So as a current rabbi and former environmental biologist, I am fascinated by the interconnection of science and spirituality. New findings in double-blind studies, that's where neither the researchers nor the subjects know who's in which category, published in peer-reviewed scientific journals, the gold standard in science, are increasingly providing proof of what we already know or intuit deep inside. It's what a psychologist professor that she once had used to call grandma research, proving what your grandmother could have told you and probably often did. In this time of uncertainty and challenge, the news media supply us with many things to worry about. It's their job. I don't blame them. And it is the opposite, though, of what we need right now. The Hasidic masters of the 18th and 19th centuries in Eastern Europe, whose movement was founded by Rabbi Israel ben Eliezer, called Baal Shem Tov, taught that joy is the best medicine. Science is now proving this. The Eastern European Jews of their time were often living in poverty. They were persecuted. They were a persecuted minority from whom high taxes were exacted. If they failed to pay, they were often imprisoned. The rabbis of their time taught that one should live in joy, and this is the most important part, independent of the circumstances. So many people know that the editor, Norman Cousins, cured himself of a terminal autoimmune disease through laughter by watching funny movies. There is a growing body of research showing that we can affect the state of our health through joy. In fact, the field of psychoneuroimmunology, or mind-body medicine, is burgeoning at universities and medical schools. A 2003 study of susceptibility to the common cold virus showed that positive emotions were associated with a lower risk of developing a cold. Proof text is on the actual text of the essay. Another study from 2006 showed that the people in the study who were happy boosted their immune systems, creating more antibodies when they were injected with a hepatitis vaccine. The converse has also been proven that stress, worry, fear, and depression suppress our immune and endocrine systems. This is the quintessential grandma research. Her teacher and mine, by default, Rabbi Joseph Gerberman, taught that joy is a decision and that joy is different from happiness. As an inheritor of the Hasidic tradition, he had made a decision to always be joyous, although he wasn't always happy, having lost many family members in the Holocaust, including his first wife and only child. We can become addicted to our familiar emotions, and yet they are simply habits that can be changed. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Folks are usually about as happy as they make their minds up to be." Martin Seligman, a professor at the University of Pennsylvania, has done research on changing our thinking. He wrote, "Habits of thinking need not be forever. One of the most significant findings in psychology in the last 20 years is that individuals can choose the way they think. Changing our way of thinking and consciously choosing joy takes commitment and practice. It doesn't happen overnight, and yet we know we can change our habits. We can change the place where we put our keys, and we can change our habits of thinking. It means intentionally ignoring the present reality to live joyously. It also means being conscious enough to catch yourself when you begin to think anything negative about a person or thing by choosing a happy thought and staying with that thought. Simply taking a walk in nature, remembering someone you love, or thinking about our wonderful moment in your life will raise your spirits. Optimism and open, uplifted hearts are good for us. And they may not only keep us healthy, but also heal us more quickly when we do become sick. Joy is the medicine we need right now. What we permit ourselves to think is up to us. Yes, it takes practice. Yes, it takes commitment, intention, and insistence, and it is worth it. At the very least, we will all have happier days and live happier lives. Thank you, Rabbi slash Cantor Jill Hausman of the Actors Temple in New York City. And thank you very much for allowing me to share this with people I know.